Yo, 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 Logan up in the house. Got a 2004 Arctic Cat 400. Overall, not too bad of a unit. It did not spark. The flywheel was bad. The magnets all came off. So that's not a bad job. You know, pull that whole cover off, whatever, put a new flywheel on. Not bad, not gonna get into it. The problem here is down in there. What is it? Let me show ya. So this was, just kidding. This is what's down there. 4x4 Actuator. The book says is not serviceable. Yeah, it reminds me of that scene in Gone in 60 Seconds when they are talking about the cars that were stolen, and he says, "This is one of 3 cars that they say is unstealable." Serviceable. But it is serviceable if you have a brain. What happened was, I can kind of show you what was going on. The 2x4, 4x4 handlebar switch would not work. The switch was bad. I can show you how to check if the switch is good or bad. I will do that here in a minute. I looked at this board on here and I noticed this relay was bad. This guy here that I took off. And I'll show you the kind of diagnostics and testing kind of within that board. But you'll see this actuator that moves back and forth, this guy here, has a little arm that comes down and touches these limit switches, SW1, SW2. And I can show you, we bench test this after we replace that, and I can kind of show you where power goes and how all that works. But yeah, part that is not serviceable is most definitely serviceable if you have a brain. Okay, so with it apart, this connector off, we have ground hooked to this third terminal, 12 volts to this first terminal. And you can see this is the relay where it's all melted. So if we turn it on for 12 volts, notice nothing happens. But if we jumper these two, the motor spins, and it spins until we hit the limit switch. So this direction is working fine, but as soon as this is let off, this motor should be spinning the other way until we hit this limit switch. And it seems like it does that. Right there, until we hit that other limit switch. So you can actually take this, hit that switch. It's working. Yeah. Cool. But either way, we should replace that relay since it's totally melted. Okay, so took some soldering here. Got an expert. I'm sitting here with the expert. There's the part number. Got it hooked up, and where can I hold it here? I'll just hold on the motor. Yeah. There we have it. It's back working like it should. Okay, so it looks like to check the front drive selector switch, this guy here. The connector is a 2-wire black snap lock in the front of the steering post to access the connector. Front fenders must remove, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you take the gas tank off, connector's right here. So you got these guys here, this here. Set the meter to ohms. Connect the red tester lead to the red wire and the black to the white. So on here, red to red, black to the white. With the switch in two-wheel drive position, we have a closed circuit. In four-wheel drive position, we'd have an open circuit. Okay, so I'm holding it there. Two-wheel drive position. I am getting, I don't know, 28 kilo ohms. Then I'm gonna go and flick it to four-wheel drive. And I got 0. So four-wheel drive 0. Two-wheel drive, some kilo ohms. Four-wheel drive, 0. So we know the switch is working. So we'll move on to the next step. Okay, with the switch being good, we're gonna move on to the front actuator. Select two-wheel drive position on the front drive selector switch, then disconnect the 3-prong connector. Because this is already a part, if it's in two-wheel drive, you would check this 3-prong connector here. It goes down to the actuator, which I have outside right now, out of the unit. With the ignition switch in the off position, connect the black tester lead to the black wire in the supply harness and the red tester lead to the orange. Turn the switch on, you should have 12 volts. So black to black, red to orange, turn the key on, we should have 12 volts. Let's give that a check. DC volts. Hard to show. 12 volts. Again, stupid sweatshirt's in the way. Black to black, red to orange, 12 volts. Then connect the red tester lead to the red and white. The meter must show 12 volts. Red tester lead to the red white. So again, we should also have 12 volts between the red and white and black. Kind of hard to see, but I got it set up. 12 volts. Then it says select the four-wheel drive position in front ear selector. The red tester lead to the red white harness, blah blah blah. The meter must show 0 volts. So just flipped it to four-wheel drive. Oops, became disconnected, 0 volts. Then it says connect the red tester lead to the orange wire, and we must have 12 volts. Okay, so that's what I'm doing here. Again, four-wheel drive switch on, red to orange, black with black, 12 volts. That's good. So it says if the voltage readings are as specified, the actuator does not function correctly, replace the actuator. And it goes on to say that the actuator is not serviceable part, but as we'll find out, most definitely is. Okay, so here's kind of the moment of truth. Actuator with the new relay installed, switch plugged in, key is on, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive. Okay, got the actuator back in. There's these 2 bolts, one up there, one underneath there, and then don't forget there's one actually down under here. It's actually down from here under way back in here. But I can turn the switch on, you can hear it whine like it should. Keys on, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive. So there you have it. If you like stuff like this, stay tuned for more. Thanks. Brap.